Okay, continuing the Sikha, Parsha Shoftim, Chelik Chav Daled. We're holding at Sivov, page 112. Okay, so just to summarize what the Rebbe said till here in the Sikha, discussion in the Sikha is about adding 3 cities to the Ari Miklot in the lands of Keni, Knizi, and Kedmaini. And the question is, which all the big Mefarshim ask, the Arizal, the Shalach, Kaddish, and so on, what is the point of adding all these Ari Miklot? Ir Miklot is for someone that kills b'mezid or b'shaygig, which lasted lavai, will not at all be necessary. So the answer, the Rebbe went through a couple of different suggestions. The answer that we learned, the Rebbe says, and the end of the sinya was that la'asad lavai, there will be no need for the Ari Miklot for people that might kill then. But if someone that killed b'shaygig from before, so he's chayiv to go to the Ari Miklot. But until Moshiach comes, there is no Ir Miklot. So all those people that may have killed someone b'shayik from before, when Mashiach comes, they're going to need an Ir Miklat to go to where they are. They're going to be in Keni, Knizi, Kedmaini, and they're going to need an Ir Miklat right over there then. And the Rebbe went through a whole thing to explain that the Pasuk clearly says that the point of the Ir Miklat is because what happens if the Goyal Adam may chase him and want to kill him? And the Rebbe here proved that according to some opinions at least, it's a mitzvah. Remember this point. It's a mitzvah for the Goyal Adam to kill the relative. The relative, that is. The Goyal Adam is the relative. He has a mitzvah to kill this person that killed B'shaygig. And therefore that mitzvah applies even lost Lavai. That's what the Rebbe brought over here. Huh? That's what the Rebbe brings from the Sifri, from the Mishnah. It's a mitzvah. So therefore...
It's going to be very busy until Mashiach comes. Because everyone, all those people, but a week, 2 weeks, or 3 weeks later,
it's going to be all over.
It's going to be all over, right?
You're right. According to the Rebbe's explanation, it's only necessary for the beginning.
That's why you need such a wide road, because everyone's going to be running usually, and so many people.
In the beginning.
In the beginning.
Okay. Okay, that was the Rebbe's hesbet till now. But here, the Rebbe is going to ask that we cannot say this explanation according to the Rambam. Let's continue. However, it still remains questionable according to the Rambam. The Rambam paskintoch, the Rambam says clearly, that it's just permission granted, and even that, it's only a permission if this individual that's supposed to remain exiled in the Ir Miklot and he doesn't follow orders, he leaves intentionally from the Ir Miklot. So then that's the punishment that the Goyal Adam then in that case may go and kill him. So first of all, it's not before he enters into the Ir Miklot. It's only if he leaves, and even if he leaves, it's only if he left b'mezid, and even then, it's only the shus. That's how the Rambam paskins.
And the Goyal Adam was sitting outside waiting, hopefully for years. The guy maybe can
okay. L'chayres, and I have so seemingly afilu daitoi, even according to the Rambam, as lasad lavai is the olam kimenhage noik. So the Rambam famously says, I think quoted over here before also in the Sikha, the Mashiach comes, the world will continue in its nature the way it is now. Is then a chanami as is ken zayin ahirig nefesh b'shkaga. So maybe we could say that according to the Rambam, there would be a possibility, even if not, that one Yid should intentionally kill another Yid. But lasad lava, it may be possible for Hirig Nefesh B'shgaga that he kills him b'shaygig. But the question is, how could it then be possible, though, what the pasuk describes here regarding this Ir Miklot, that Yeicham Levavai, that this relative will be very heated up about this matter. Ubemela Metzias from Goyal Adam. This relative that's waiting for this chance to get back a revenge, he has this fire of revenge in his heart. That revenge is not something that would be lasalavi. Why not? The Rambam, he says lasalavi, nature won't change. But the Rambam does say, as Boy says, man, there'll be no hunger, no war, no jealousy, even any competition. The only thing people will be busy with is to know Hashem. And amatziv from loikin of etachrus, if you're in a time period where there's no jealousy or competition, unzayin osik l'das as Hashem bulvat. The only thing you're busy with is the knowledge of Hashem. Is wie can sein as ein zal hargenen at zweite v'sloye mishpat mavis. The pasuk itself says that here this person did what he did accidentally, and he does not deserve to die. However, here comes a relative that's very, very heated up about the matter, and therefore he's waiting to see if this person will leave the Ir Miklat and maybe he can take revenge. How could this be the case, lost at love? We can't answer that is the what? That's what it seems like from the Rambam. Look again in the first paragraph where the Rebbe says, "Ven yotza chutz l'tchuma b'zadim." Only when he went out, but not in the beginning. That's what the Rambam paskins. Yeah. Now you can't answer for this as das was mevetla osad lovay darfen haben ore miklot, that the need to have these cities of ore miklot wird sein, it will be there nicht zum matzel sein dem heilig nefesh b'shkaga. The point will be not to save this person that killed b'shogeg from dem goyel adam, save him from the goyel adam that may want to take revenge, nor rather als a kapara for dem chet. Maybe the union of the Golos is for his sake, for his purpose, as an atonement for the sin that he did. That can be the pshat. And the Rebbe asks this, while in Yonon, for not in Miklot, is nidblois agonavat. As I think we learned already before here in the Sikha, Ir Miklot is not just a matter of protection, to be protected from this individual that wants to take revenge. It's actually also designated as a kapara. As a kapara for the Aveda.
Practically speaking, that's what's keeping that person inside the city, because he's afraid that if I leave this place and I don't follow the rules,
he might kill him. Correct. Right, but here the Rebbe is suggesting maybe we should say that loss of lovai for protection it's not necessary because there's nobody that's going to be looking to take revenge. But as a kapara, this is what the court brings a kapara. So the Rebbe says that can't be the case. Varum the pasuk zog befedish. The pasuk clearly says, why do you have to designate another 3 cities here? V'lo yishafech dam gomer. So now blood should not be spilled, which means that the goyel adam should not take revenge. As a velnzayin oich losad lovet tzaliba ganavat salat. The pasuk clearly says that losad lovet, the arei miklat, are there to shield and protect and to save this person that's running into their miklat. Naisaf lazeh. Another point. The arei miklat losad lovet velnzayin nor tzalib them as a heilig nefesh b'shkaga zol haben a kapara. The only reason you need these arei miklat is for the purpose of a kapara, but not to save him from the goyel adam. Is doch nit da d'chshash as kiyir ba'derech v'kol nefesh. So then, what are we concerned about? That maybe the Ir Miklat is too far away, and he won't be able to make it there in time. Is nit doken hechrech of Arei Miklat and eretz keni knizi v'kadmayni davke. You don't need the Ir Miklat to be in a close proximity to him. As then doch shein da Arei Miklat in Eretz Yisrael ve'ever ha'yarden. You have already the Arei Miklat that are in Eretz Yisrael or in Ever ha'yarden, and they'll be just fine. Even if he has to travel many miles away. So why not? Yeah. Plane tickets. Okay. Look what the Rebbe says in Order 58. Ki ein moker lechadish. There's no source to say to be mechadish. The Orei Miklot koltem u'mechaprem rak al hoirig nefesh ba'osim medina. That maybe the kapara only works for the person that killed in that Medina. That's where the Ir Miklat has to be. Ever says there's no source for such a thing. The kapara of the Ir Miklat, let's say a person, for whatever odd reason, he killed someone and he should go to the Ir Miklat that's closest to him, but he decides to run to Ir Miklat that's far away, in a different Medina. He's in Ever Yarden, he crosses the Yarden and he goes to Eretz Yisrael. Will the kapara work for him? Yeah. Doesn't have to be dafke where he is. When the time is Eichel be'ikir. But if the reason is to save this person from the person that's looking to take revenge, is move on. So it's understood. So therefore, you have to have cities that should be there in Keni Knizik Admani close enough to him. As by Lanus Shama, when he's escaping, running to the Ir Miklat, is Negeyas on the Zayin Yarba Derech. It's important that it shouldn't be too far.
Why? If the Goyal can't get him until he gets into the city.
That's a good question. According to the Rambam, I'm afraid that remains a question. Yeah, you're right. I'm not sure how to answer that because the Rebbe brought before Ven Yotzel Chutzat Chuma Bezadim. Unless to say that that's Lav Dafke. To look inside the Rambam himself to see what he says about this.
That's very clear.
Yeah. It's a good
he doesn't
question.
have all day to take. He doesn't have a sweet time. I'll take a month to go in there. Until I get in there, he can't bother me. Maybe he only has a limited amount of time to get in.
Okay, so you have to know exactly what the halach about that is. I mean, at what point?
Yeah.
Okay, so here the Rebbe comes to the answer to explain what is the need for the Ari Miklat Lasid Lavai according to the Rambam? Yishleima Bir Bezes, we can explain this as follows. The halacha from Goyal Adam with alle pratim, this whole thing that the Torah tells us about this Goyal Hadam, the person that's looking to redeem the blood, he's looking to take revenge of the blood that was spilled. With alle pratim, with all the details that the Torah says about this, is nit an inyan from Dibra Torah keneged Yetzirah. This is not a kind of a case where the Torah is basically speaking because the Torah understands that what the Yetzirah tells the person. Welche vet meise sein, the Yetzirah is going to come and convince this relative, und machen as yechem levavai, and it'll cause him to be very heated up about this matter. The Father, the Torah, belaz breide gegeben reshus, oder atzivitz agen and dem retzeh. That's what it may seem. Rabbi here is saying, what's this concept of Goyal Adam? It may seem that the Torah is basically addressing a situation that's going to happen anyways. A relative is going to get so angry about the fact that this person killed his relative, so he's going to come and he's going to want to take revenge. The Torah knows that that's what's going to happen. The Rebbe brings, what's the other famous example for Dibra Torah Keneged Yetzirah, where the Torah, Yefas Torah, in Hara 59, the story of Yefas Torah, where the Torah knows that a soldier that's out fighting in battle, that the Torah knows that in such a case, it's going to have to be matter for this Yid to get married to the Yefas Torah. There's Alt Machlekes Rishonim exactly how this works, if she has to be Megayer or maybe even not. But over there, it's the point of Dibra Torah Keneged Yetzirah, which means that the Torah understands the nature of people, and therefore it gives a mitzvah accordingly. And over here, maybe we could say it's the same thing. The Goyal Adam is the Torah, the fact that the Torah is allowing, or maybe even commanding that the Goyal Adam could or should take revenge. That one second, that's based on Dibra Torah Keneged Yetzirah. So the Rebbe says that's not the case. That's b'chlal not the pshat of what this whole concept of Goyal Adam is all about. Because is nit chayiv misa. If this person that killed by mistake is not chayiv to die, is wie shaykh to sagen, how is it possible to say as the Goyal Adam hat reshus and targenet? How could it be? Forget about a mitzvah. How could it even be that the Torah gives reshus, permission for one yid to take revenge and kill another yid under any circumstances, if he doesn't deserve to die, if it was just a mistake? V'kol shekain, as this is a mitzvah of Goyal Adam, and most definitely to come and say that there would be such a mitzvah that this relative should go ahead and kill him. It cannot be that the Torah is just sort of basically giving in to human nature, to human instinct, and therefore allowing this to happen. It's impossible. If he doesn't deserve to die, the Torah would never allow another. Yeah, even now, correct. No. So the Rebbe explains, what's this concept of Goyal Adam? Das is anhage meikara al pitoyre oi mitzvah. This whole behavior of the Goyal Adam is from the beginning. It's a behavior that's based on Torah or mitzvah. This is what the Torah wants. And the Rebbe explains why. As an fanim, there are cases when the Torah haized bezdin zol oisfirin and chiyav misa. When a person kills b'mezid, so then what does the Torah say? That this person deserves to die, and who's the one that has to kill him? Bezdin. Then as an edim, that's if there are witnesses here. Ve'asra, and the warning as well. Faranai fanim, there are other cases when it's kumt misa b'dei shemayim, where a person is chayiv misa, but it's not as harsh, and over there it's misa that comes from heaven. It's another case. By heirig nefesh b'shgageh, when a person kills b'shoigig, the baal das durch im is gehargit geworden. A nefesh mi Yisrael, if through him another yid was killed, hatayre, so this person's life also deserves to be taken away. But hatayre das ibegegeben zu dem was royal yoshay. The fact that he deserves to die, who did the Torah give this over to? Not to the Bezdin, and it's not a Misa B'dei Shemayim either, but Torah gives it over to a relative. And who's considered to be a relative? Someone that could theoretically inherit this person that died. A Shaykh Hasim. One second, let's just see the conclusion here. One second. A Shaykh Hasim, he has a relation to him. And therefore, when it says that he gets all excited about this matter, it's not a personal revenge kind of thing. It's something that the Torah says is relevant to him because he is the relative, and therefore the Torah is giving over that this person's life is supposed to come to an end to this person, to this relative here. So Hagen and the Ritzach, that he's the one that has to do this, that has to kill the Ritzach.
Well, that's the Ekakasha. The Torah says, "B'mezid Nisa." That's the wolf. Now the Torah is saying what? if it's manslaughter,
Shogeg.
accidental manslaughter, which is shogeg, right? So really, it shouldn't be misa, but we have to have a special rule.
Goyal Adam. The Goyal Adam gives the misa.
To get this person because he did accidental manslaughter.
Okay, so look, I'll tell you what it is. I think the main thing that you have to clarify in order to clear this up here is that what does shogeg really mean? If you look in the Gemara and Makkas in the second page, you'll see shogeg is a situation where there's some measure of negligence involved.
100%.
If there's a situation of an einus, the Gemara there even says that there's a difference if the person is going up the ladder or down the ladder. And according to the Rambam, the reason for the difference is derech aliyah or derech yiride, right? But you learned this?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're going up the ladder, so over there's no negligence involved. When you're going down, since it's more likely to happen, or like famous case of the Mishnah where it says where a person was using this utensil to flatten to his roof, he was working on the roof. So if as he was going up, the thing slipped out of his hand and fell and killed someone, you don't go to Galdas for that. But if you were going down and it slipped and fell and killed someone, then you're achai. Why? Because when you go up, you were pulling it up and somehow it slipped out of your hand. That's a kind of an accident that you couldn't prevent. There's no negligence involved. But if it's going down motion, and then you could have been more careful, and it slipped out of your hand, should have been more careful, could have and should have, and therefore there's a measure of negligence involved in this. And therefore,
the terrorist case is where the
axe,
metal thing where the flew out.
Correct.
So really, the negligence over there is that he didn't double check his
correct
head,
to see his tool,
make sure it's tightly in place.
To see that the tool is good and tight enough, or if he was chopping wood and a piece of wood went and flew and killed a person. If you're chopping wood, look around you. Look what's going on. A person is standing within 10 feet of you, so it's dangerous. You should have closed off the area. Yeah. So in all cases of shogeg where a person goes to galus, there's a certain measure of negligence. Okay. Now, add to that the fact that b'chlal, we know what it says all the time. Anytime a yid does an aveda b'shogeg, it shows that there's something there that's not okay. Yeah. Even when it says this regarding why do you bring a korban chatas for any shogeg, is because it shows that there's something that's not okay when it happens with shogeg. Over here, we're talking about a shogeg for such a severe thing, to take away a life of another yid. And when there's a certain measure of negligence involved in this, so the Torah says that this person that did such a thing, his life deserves to be taken from him. Elamai, how? Not in the most definite and certain way, meaning it's not going to be through a bezdin. It's not going to happen automatically b'dei shemayim. We're giving the goyal adam that job. But then we're also giving this person himself a way to save himself. So you see here, this is an in-between case. This is a situation where on one hand, he's chayiv misa to some extent, and we're giving that over to the Goyal Adam. But yet at the same time, we're saying, if you're going to go to the Ir Miklat, a city of refuge, you'll be saved. That's really what's going on over here. Okay, let's continue inside. Okay, so we're the third line over here on the it's a hagen and then it's sayach. If I rop nemen, then v'rotzach goyal adam is saritzeach v'lo yisikchu kaifer lonas geimer. And the pasuk says that the goyal adam has the right to kill this person, and you don't take any kind of payment. Kaifer means don't accept any kind of payment for this to save his life. Yeah. V'lo yisachnifu es haaretz geimer, and the land should not become all sachnifu. It shouldn't become dirty with the sin. Yeah. The land is not atoned for this blood that was spilled, only by the life of this person that killed. It says that the blood is in his hands. For the chet that this person did. Okay, that's the concept. That is the idea of a goyal adam killing someone that killed his relative b'shogeg. So the Rebbe concludes in the Rebbe, so therefore we not could understand. As even according to the Rambam's opinion. As Paskin, the Rambam says as rishus l'goyal adam lahargay, that it's only a permission that he may go and kill this person. It will be necessary to have these ari miklat when Mashiach comes. From them goyal adam for the to run away from this goyal adam. The balt as the goyal adam is an inyan al pi Torah, because what the goyal adam does is not just a personal revenge. It's al pi Torah. It's not just some kind of a feeling of revenge. Rather, Yecham Levavi, when his heart is heated up about this matter, it's Apitaita that he's heated up about this. Ubimele is this Oich Bahazman, Lasad Lavai, Venice is like Kinna, Vitachris, even in a time when there's no jealousy or competition, nor Asa Kaloilam, no Das Hashem Buvat. Even in that time period, this will be necessary. Then?
What?
Can't hear you.
Is that implying that there should be a show day in that area in the future?
According to the Rambam, it could be, yes. The Rebbe discussed this earlier in the Sikha, that whether there'll be such a possibility of Shegig Lasad Lavai is questionable. In the Arizal, it's mashma that yes, but it could be no. The Rebbe before suggested that it could be that this will be necessary for those people that killed someone b'Shegig Bizman Hazeh, but did not have the Golas to run to. And then when Mashiach comes, they run to the Golas. But over here, the Rebbe seems to be indicating that it's possible, according to the Rambam, since Olam Kimin Hage Noik, the nature of the world doesn't change, so then there will be a concept of killing b'Shegig Lasad Lavai.
Maybe you can't find a different way to kill this guy, because you can't kill something besides the regular down.
This sikha here that we're learning only discusses the nigla aspect of this whole thing. But if you remember, we learned in other sikhs where the Rebbe points out that this inyan of the Ari Miklot Lasad Lavai, and that the whole inyan of Mashiach is learned out dafke from the Ari Miklot. Sorry, Al Pi Chassidus, it's coming to say that what's really the Ir Miklot? Ir Miklot goes on Taira. The Gemara says, Divrei Taira Kailtin. That Lasad Lavai, we're going to have extra Ari Miklot that resembles the Kedusha of Taira that's going to be Kailit all Yidden to save them from everything that's going on in Olam Hazeh. That's more or less the point that the Rebbe says. The Rebbe expands upon this inyan of Ir Miklot. Here the Rebbe is just explaining Al Pi Nigla, but it's, when you finish learning this Hezbollah Al Pi Nigla, it still like begs for more, because like you said, even after the whole Hezbollah the Rebbe says here, so this is the whole thing, Lasad Lavai, to add another 3 cities in Keni Knizik Admani, it's still a Dvar Pella. You have to have the Hezbollah Pichsidis, Okay, let's finish off the Indian here. Yiratzen, as durch der Aveide von Ari Miklot bis man Hazeh. So here the Rebbe Bekitzer brings this point. The Aveide of Ari Miklot today, with Beruchnis in the spiritual sense, we don't have Ir Miklot today. So if someone is in a place of an Aveide B'Shegig and he wants to be saved, what does he do? Teire, limit that Teire. Because Divrei Teire Kailtin. Teire absorbs the person. Frat in dem Zman, was is gegeben geworden als am Miklot. Here, this Sikhe is said in Parsha Shoftim, which is in the time of Chodesh Elul. That's the time which is given as a Miklot, a Chodesh Elul. This Rosh Tevis Shaloi is Ina Leyodei V'Sam Tilach. One of the Rosh Tevis for Elul is that Hashem designates the place. Lirma is Ke Chodesh Baruch Hu B'Chazdei. The Eibishter with his kindness. Ina V'Zimen Chodesh Elul. L'chol mi shechata b'teich Hashana. The Eibishter designates this month. Anyone that sins during the year, Sheyashiv as b'tshuva v'yikabluhu. She do tshuva and the Eibishter accepts it. So Mazeicha Zayin B'Karev. So the Yarchav Hashem Lekechas Gvocha, let the Eibishter broaden the borders of Eretz Yisrael, or Kipshutai, not just to broaden the borders in the spiritual sense, but Begashmias. When it's V'zayin, the V'yasafta L'cha'ayit Shal L'sharim, the Yisafas Gimel Ari Miklot, to add these 3 additional cities of Ari Miklot, and Oich Beruchnias, and also Beruchnias. Here the Rebbe hints Bekitzer to this point. What is the addition of these 3 Ari Miklots to Lasad Lavai? Taira, the Isgalas Taimei Taira Lasad Lavai, the secrets of Taira that will be revealed with Ruach Mashiach Tzidkenu, Meheira v'Yameinu Mamash.
We're going to learn next
Oh, yeah.